Yeah, we're live.
I'm gonna share it on my feed to Facebook. Oh, it keeps doing that. Oh. Okay. I was like, okay, so we got the loop now, so it's gonna go back.
Okay.
Still learning the system, but we're good. Okay, so it's that. And then Twitch should be live.
Yeah, I'm watching on Twitch right now.
Awesome. And then YouTube. YouTube, are we live? We're live on YouTube as well. The sickness, and it's working well. This is nice. Wow. Oh, screw it. I'll set it to the Fallout group as well. It's 8 o'clock. Turn off the music. And we are live. Jen, do you want to give us an intro?
Good evening, Internet. Welcome to your Monday night tabletop RPG talk show with the Degenerates of Dice. Tonight, you are graced with two of your favorite degenerates.
Yeah, maybe a
You
third.
you have Joe.
Third. Hello.
You've got Jen. We should be having a special guest later.
Yep.
And that is our intros for tonight, but that's okay. So we have a few topics to talk about. We've got some gaming wins, we have a game to feature, and then we have options for you guys to ask questions.
Yep. And then, some of our things are red flags for gamers. So we're talking about red flags, and then whether drinking at the table is kosher or not. So let's start out with let's say gaming wins. Do some gaming
good
wins.
for gaming wins.
Let us know what your gaming wins are as well in the
We've
chat.
all got them.
Yeah. So
all got 'em.
my gaming wins, I haven't really had much. To all of my Helldivers out there, we did win against the automatons, at least for now. So we have spread managed democracy to the automaton sector, and we're proud about that.
For now.
Yeah, for now. But the Patriots did succeed, so we are proud of that. Other than that, not much. Yeah, other than that, we haven't done too much. I haven't done too much as far as tabletop, unfortunately, because of all the stuff that's happening. But 'cause we couldn't play this weekend because some of the people went to see the eclipse, and were the closest place for us. They had to camp over the weekend, so they had to go in on Saturday, and they can't leave until tomorrow because of all the traffic. So I couldn't really play, but. We're playing Thursday, Rifts. We're playing Rifts on Thursday, which will be fun, and the Savage Rifts. And then we got, Fallout this week? We have Fallout 2D20 Fallout this week.
No, I think it's Pirate Week because we were supposed to last week, but Kristen's kid was in a not golf tournament. No, that was because he's going to be a freshman in high school.
Yeah, he's gonna be a
That's
freshman
what
in
it
high school.
was. Yes.
Yeah,
So
they grow up
freshman
so fast.
orientation. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Fucking
I mean,
freshman.
I guess we'll be playing 2D20 next week. If you guys have any questions about Fallout 2D20, please put them in the chat. We will try to answer them. If you have any questions about any RPG, please just put it in chat. We'll try to answer them. We love questions.
Comments, concerns, questions. All of that.
All of that. If you have like any sort of hater shit, though, please don't put that in there because we don't need that negative energy today. But just kidding. You can talk all the mess you want in chat. So I guess next up is oh yeah, your gaming wins. Your gaming wins.
The only thing I've actually been playing is 76, and a couple of other little indie ones, and not been doing well on the scoreboard there. I've hit, I think last night I was at rank 44 on this kind of scoreboard-ish, because it's not scoreboard, but it's I don't know what to call it, but
I haven't been able to log into 76 because it keeps crashing every time I try to log in. So I guess I gotta reinstall it. Thanks, Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Hashtag thanks, Bethesda. So I mean, yeah. From what I hear, everyone hates the new scoreboard system, but
the Mothman event is going on right now, though.
Yeah, the Mothman's always cool.
And
they're coming out with a mini for Mothman too. They're coming out with a miniature. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. That's worth it. Yeah. They had some new plans for this Mothman event, but because it's Bethesda, there's been some kind of bug with learning new plans for this one. So like if you learn a plan, you don't get any rewards at all after that. So people are just like holding on to their plans for right now. But rumor has it that because of that bug that they're going to throw in a hot patch and extend the event another week.
Okay. So I'll try and get in and play it then at some point. We'll see.
And but since you're on PC, anything I have duplicates of that you need, I'll definitely go to you because you definitely need a cryptid camp. And these there's some really cute little honeycomb lanterns and shit, and it's some super cute stuff. So,
yeah, I need to build a cryptid camp. I think I have. I have the haunted house pack. If I don't, I'll probably get it. I know I bought a bunch of crap because I like every time I was like, oh yeah, I have a bunch of items I need to spend. So should we talk about the game of the week?
Yes. What is your game of the week that I get to learn about?
Game of the week. My game of the week this week. And if you ever have a game of the week, you're more than welcome to tell me what you want to show too. I actually have a couple things. First thing I have is Decuma. I've talked about it. Oh, sorry. Arizona iced tea. I've talked about this on a stream before. It's R&D for your RPG, and then I also got another one that's another R&D for your RPG called Arium Create. And these are not actually they're like pre-games for your game, so you can essentially create your own backstories and all that before the game itself. Arium Create allows you to create a completely new setting altogether, like a complete new game. So you could just choose if you want Firefly mixed with I don't know, planetary romance mixed with with Fallout elements. Arium Create, you can actually do that in. You could have all of that in the same and then
so it's like a homebrew.
Yeah, it's the ultimate homebrew game. It's was that
a homebrew made easy?
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's made easy. It's definitely you'll need a full session of R&D for it, and then you can they have their
as far as having everything kind of in one spot without having to search multiple resources.
Yeah, and also just getting everybody to agree on what they want. And then after you do that, you can play Arium Discover, which is built to work with to create so that you can play the game that you want to play, and no matter how complex it is. So it's something to think about. That's kind of where I was at. Decubot is actually a tarot deck, and it just asks questions. We'll probably play it at some point on stream.
That sounds like
Um,
fun.
yeah, it's just like you. So, like for example, if you're playing Fallout 2D20, which is what we're playing, let's say you want to still keep it in the Commonwealth, you could create your own personal settlement for your group using this, and then you could also create like the group backstory for like how you guys know each other, and then like how like individual characters all know each other as well. So you could really have like a really tight knit group before you even start your campaign. I use
Huh.
this for Rifts and it works really well. That's how they came up with the town of Haunted Wells, which is where they are currently traipsing around, and that's their town that they made, and they all know each other and everything. So it's an option. That's all I'm gonna say. It's an
That's
option.
cool.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Just a quick diatribe into pre games for your game. Um,
Oh, because if there's a game that the more that you know, the more lore that you're involved in making for your own campaign, the
yeah,
more the more invested in it you're in, the more you're going to pay attention,
yeah,
and the more that you're going to have fun.
yeah, and that's really the big thing is like the investment, because if all the players are investing and putting like what they want into the game, they're more likely to remember stuff and be excited when something about the thing they made up comes up in the game. Like to put it into example, my one of my friends, she plays a burster at my table, and which is
Like
like
a
a
chest
flame.
burster from Alien.
No, like it's like a human flame. So
Oh, okay,
she
yeah, like
sets
Human
everything on
Torch.
fire. Yeah, so she sets everything on fire, but she's also
That's hot.
addicted to a drug. She's addicted to a drug that she made up called pixie dust, and she made up an NPC called Dribbles, who's her pixie dust dealer, who's like a gnome who just deals in essentially cocaine, and it's pretty cool. And he shows up every once in a while. It's like, oh, cool, Dribbles is here. You know what I mean? It's like because she made that NPC, and now he's in the game, and I wouldn't have thought of him. So, and she thought of pixie dust and all that, and it's a great addition. So I don't know, it's something to think about. All right, should we switch to our first topic of the week?
Gaming red flags.
Yes,
All
red
right.
flags for gamers. Uh, Once again, if you have any comments, feel free to put them in chat. For me, uh, I guess I'll go with you since you're a new gamer. What would be things that would, well, not new, we've been playing for years now, but what would be the things that you would be like, okay, this isn't cool, this isn't what I'm looking for
My
out of a player first?
my first probably the first red flag is any type of ism, like not like autism. No, not there is.
Not the Riz.
Love y'all's tis.
Yeah,
Um, uh, Racism, sexism, like that. Those are easy and like bright red flags that show
yeah,
up real quick. And as a female gamer, um, even in video games, it's something that even though you're hiding behind the mic, you can still hear it.
yeah.
And
I think even more so when it's behind the mic because people are anonymous. You know what I mean? So they say
mhm,
terrible stuff.
yep.
Like,
And then that's why a lot of female gamers don't use their mics, because if we
yeah,
do, we worry. But
yeah,
that's um but thankfully, like with PC, that there's no messaging on it. So I know like some female gamers who play on consoles, you still can get those messages on Xbox and
yeah,
PlayStation and such, even though you're not friends with somebody. So it's like, at least with PC, it's like if I don't talk, I'm
yeah,
I don't know. But if I do talk, then I can just block.
yeah, yeah,
And But with in person, it's easier sometimes to see that, and it's just
Yeah,
like, okay, you know what? Good deal. You can go fuck off. And
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
those two are, I think, the biggest red flags, and I think that I think everybody's that's done tabletop has had, you know, they've had to have that person of like, hey, we've had to remove
yeah,
you from the table. And
yeah.
my oldest son, on one of his tables that he's run, he had to kick a person for that. And he came in, he's like, hey mom, how do I deal with this? And I'm like, okay, you know what? I said, yeah. I said, you can either boot them and just boot and ban, or you can say, hey dude, knock it off. And he's like, no, I gave him warnings already. I was like, okay. I said, so
Uh,
you can have a meeting of the group and vote them off.
yeah,
I said, and I said, also, I said, you should have like a consent thing and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, but
That's
he does a lot of like almost all of his campaigns are, excuse me, almost all of his campaigns are homebrew, and I
okay.
applaud the creativity that he's got for that homebrew.
Yeah, we
It's
should have him on the show at some point to
I
talk about
told him
that.
to, and he's
Yeah,
like, well, he said, can I use my avatar? I was like, no,
yeah,
everybody else is on camera, so you should do camera too. He's like, well, my webcam's busted. I said, you can use your phone or your tablet.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, especially now that we're using StreamYard, he should have no problem. But I mean,
Yeah.
if he wants to just use his avatar, he can. It's fine. I mean, it's cooler if he has a webcam, but
Well,
I
because
get what he's.
and but yeah, he's got more tabletop experience than I do because I've been playing just in one campaign,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then being on the show as well. That's my TTRPG experience.
yeah.
And then he's been in and hosted. And oh, next time Noah is on, I'll have to bring out the um stack of boxes that his friend gave him his magic card
Oh,
collection
really?
as a gift for taking him to the airport when he moved.
Okay.
And I was like, it was like a laundry basket full of just cards. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't know anything about these magic cards.
Yeah,
Nothing.
that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I mean, like no matter what,
Yeah.
it's a lot of money because they're at least 10 cents a piece if they're all commons, and he's probably just got the full common, uncommon, rare, mythic. So it's a lot of money
Yeah.
you gave him. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's
So I told him, I was like, and he's like, well, I'm supposed to hold on to them, I think. I said, well, tell him that, so reach out to him because they don't get along anymore. I said,
yeah,
tell him that he can pay shipping costs and you'll send it back to him. And if
yeah,
not, he's got 30 days from data notification. After that, they're your cards. You can do whatever you want to with them.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's going to cost a lot to ship, though. Shipping stuff like that is not cheap. So
No, I would do a flat rate box, and
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tangent on that one. Is I just sent cookies out the other day, and was it Tuesday? Whatever the second was, I sent out the cookies, and they had to go to Arizona, Detroit, not Detroit, Ann Arbor, sorry. So Arizona, Washington, and Michigan, and the only one that did not arrive was Arizona.
Uh,
I was like, damn it. So I gotta make more cookies, and my son and I, my youngest and I do this all the time. So we'll have to do it in a couple months. But sending flat rate has usually been
usually, yeah.
been
Well,
decent. I think
the
UPS will get small business next time.
Yeah, I mean, like post office because they got super defunded. They're terrible now. They're losing all kinds of stuff. The Atlanta post office is apparently like terrible now. Like it's just not operating. But yeah, I don't know.
Ours
Yeah,
got lost in Louisville.
that's close
So,
to where I am.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's like,
yeah.
oh, it went to Kentucky and it just decided it was
It
no
was gone.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll show
So,
up in like a month or so from now. So they'll have stale cookies that they can eat as well. Because usually it does show up eventually. It just shows up like 3 months later. Because it's at the bottom of something. Yeah, they're just like we'll get to it when we get to it. They just don't. So
yeah. What I found though, I've shipped before with I'll send something out the same day. We did this Christmas a couple of years ago. We sent out a priority mail package and a priority mail flat rate package. Same day, going to the same city.
Yeah.
But one was flat rate, one wasn't, and the flat rate one got there on time. The other one got there like 2 days late.
Yeah, the flat rates are better because they fit the truck perfectly, so they get prioritized because they can put
But
them all in
that's
one
what
truck.
all 3 of these boxes were all the same. All the same
really?
flat rate.
Yeah.
Yep, medium flat rate. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
want to give a shout out to the post office, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, come on. Y'all
They're
suck.
defunded. You know what happened last time they got super defunded? They started shooting shit up. I don't remember the people going postal, but they got super defunded. All the post workers got super stressed and they just lost their shit. So maybe we should pay them because bad shit happens when you don't pay the postal workers. That's all I'm saying. It's like there's a history of that. So
Yeah, if y'all ever want to know where the term "going postal" comes
yeah,
from, go
yeah,
ahead and Google it.
yep. Actually, I played a mailman in a Riffs campaign that was just like completely unhinged. He was armed to the teeth and just insane. It was
That
great.
tracks.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
it would work.
yeah. He had a mail truck full of weapons. But yeah. So I guess back on topic, red flags. So
Yeah,
for me, yeah, obviously the sexism and racism. I mean,
they're
well,
easy to spot.
there's overt and then there's like and then there's covert. The covert, you generally don't have as much covert racism at the table because, like, as like a black game master, like if you're playing at my table and you have a problem with black people, you've already, um, you're in the wrong place on your own. Like you dug that hole for yourself. Um, but as I mean, the issue with the hobby is there's a lot of players who just aren't great around women. You know what I mean? And just some resentment there. And
And
sometimes
that
it comes up quick, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, and I think that that comes back to the gatekeeping thing. Well, that
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
gatekeeping, I think, kind of go hand in hand.
yeah. Like, I mean, the other thing, like, one of the things, like, I mean, I think you should have a questionnaire, not just for, like, like a safety questionnaire, but I think you should also have, like, what am I thinking? Like, just like a personality questionnaire. Like, are you okay with, like, so for instance, I don't like sex at the table. And I've been in very uncomfortable situations because certain players like that. So it's like that would be something that I would ask, and if they were like, "Yeah, I'm cool with that. That's great," I'd be like, "Well, this isn't the table for you." Um, there's like killing babies and stuff like that. It's like this probably isn't the table for you. Um, certain levels of torture, it's like yeah, you don't need to go that deep. You know what I mean? Domestic violence. That's another thing. It's like I don't want to deal with that. That's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's just like like there's people who are just like, yeah, I'm okay with whatever. All of it's cool. Let's have fun with it. And it's like that.
then they
If you're
realize, no, they're
yeah,
not.
and I think people who say that they're okay with whatever and whatever is fine and they want to explore all that. That's kind of a red flag for me because that means that they have some of the isms. Like if they're okay with exploring extreme racism or extreme sexism in a game, like I mean, it's like okay, and you're okay with all of the other like egregious things. Like it's whatever. I'm cool with whatever. It makes me uncomfortable,
I
because
think
it's like,
we had something like that with what we were discussing one day with different um I forget how we were discussing. It ended up coming down to racism because of how some of the certain races are built
yeah, yeah,
in like
yeah,
classic D&Ds and stuff
yeah,
of I think it was it Drow
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
dwarves and how people they'll and that I think would be one of those covert things. Is
Yeah.
they're somebody's like, oh well, I'm not racist, but then how they act of towards somebody's
Yeah.
character of a different race, and you're just like, you
Yeah.
are.
It depends. Like, obviously, like dwarves and elves don't get along, and like there is racism built into that.
Right.
But it just kind of depends. Usually, there's more sexism at the table than there is racism at the table. Like, usually, it's just more of a,
Yeah, I
if
think
there's a girl, they freak out.
with racism at the table, I think that because there are so many different races in the in general TTRPGs,
Yeah.
that it's in there, like halflings, gnomes, and dwarves. Somebody thinks, oh, they're all the same. They're not.
No.
But and so they do have, lore wise, they have these tendencies towards each other, and
Yeah.
I think it kind of comes down to where the races can pick on each other, kind of thing. Like the military, nobody makes fun of the military except military people.
For military. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like nobody can pick on a Marine except for another military member.
Yeah.
And
even still, don't pick on a Marine unless you can
handle a pack.
Yeah, because like they're still probably going to punch you, and they're scary. So you've been warned.
Yeah, and Marines do travel in packs.
Oh yeah, they do.
And so
usually they're drunk though, so there is that. At least usually they're inebriated if you see them in public. So there's that.
Which, if I was a Marine and I'd be eating crowns too, I would definitely want to be inebriated for my crown eating. I can say that because I'm a Air Force vet. So fuck off, haters. But I think that it's because that is lore. It's easier to be racist among the characters as long as you can tell. Sometimes for me, knowing what I know about dwarves is that they just hate everybody.
Yeah.
They always seem angry, and that's a racist thing that I think of, because that's what I know from dwarves for all the lore of different RPGs that I've seen from them.
They're honoring.
They're always drunk and angry.
Yeah.
And
if you had a Napoleon complex, you'd probably be drunk and angry too, though. You know what I mean? They're smaller than everybody.
Yeah.
Except for gnomes and halflings, but
and then with Fallout, we deal with racism there because we have different, ghouls and super mutants, and and but that's something that we can, work to our advantage or disadvantage. I mean, I play a fucking 7-foot green super mutant. Like, who's gonna fuck with me?
To Kristen's credit, we really don't have too much of that going on. But to be fair, it's because we're extremely violent, and if somebody were to
fuck around,
like if they would be like, "Screw you, super mutant," it would be like, "Okay, that's the." Like it doesn't take much for us to.
Do you want to meet Millie's rolling pin? Because you're gonna meet Millie's rolling pin.
It's like we're murder hobos. We seem to always have some sort of nuclear device on us. Like, dude, you can mess with us. It's just like we like fighting. So I mean, there's that. So I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, but other than that, like, other like minor red flags would be respecting people's time. I think it's a big thing. Respecting people's decisions. Like, if the whole group is doing one thing and you just want to go off and do something completely different, that's kind of shitty. And that's like being considerate, I think, is important. And I think people do have blind spots, but like you have to be considerate. Because as like a theater kid, I am even like have a problem with that, because I will act out everything, because it's like I love playing characters, but sometimes you just gotta step back and be like, this is somebody else's moment, and it's like that's just something you gotta think about, and a lot of people don't do that, I mean, and it kind of sucks for everybody else because it's just like you don't want to watch the Joe show. You know what I mean? Like you're a part of the game too. So I mean, there is that.
True. And I think that, if you want to have a discussion about that, like an above the table thing, like
Yeah,
for me, I would love to be able to do something like that with Sally, but I would need like cues,
yeah, yeah. And we
something.
did that before. We've done that before. Like we know I've asked for a speech a couple times. You know, you did some good speeches before you crushed that lady's skull, and that was a great speech.
I did. I did
Yeah,
before I curb stomped that bitch.
yeah. We killed so many like canon and PC characters in that game. Like like if they had a name and they actually had a quest or something in that game, we actually murdered them. Like if
Did we find Virgil? No, we didn't find Virgil.
no, we had to
No.
we had a GTFO before we could even talk to Virgil. Like it was bad. We had to get out. Like it was immediate evac. I mean, I would like to talk to Virgil, but we can't go back there. I mean, they're going to shoot us immediately. But most of them have radium rifles.
Like
and
that
that's good for
stopped us before.
I mean, no, but like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. I have to concede that point. Like yeah, I'll concede. Yeah, you're right.
We'll just
Oh,
take the
it's just
vertibird this time.
yeah. We'll just well,
Take
we
the
usually
vertibird
crash them.
farther.
Maddie usually crashes it before we can get there. So and Noah he flies well, but that's only because of luck. And that luck
And
is
Nuka
going to
Brown.
run out. Yeah, like, it's going to run out. We are all going to die in a fiery crash. Um, I mean, yeah. So like consideration, just basic consideration. Knowing what your character does, I think is kind of important. I think it's you don't need to know all the rules. Like especially like in my tables, I'm not expecting you to know really any rules, but you need to know what your character does and have a basic idea. Like if you're a fighter, you're not casting spells, unless I guess you go Eldritch Knight or whatever. But that's like way later in the game. It's like you're going to hit stuff. Like that is your job. Stop
Yeah.
trying to pick up wands and crap because you're not that guy. You are a fighter. And if you're a wizard, you're not going to be able to fight people that great. Like it's like don't go around picking up swords trying to hit people and trying to put on plate mail armor because that's not what you're supposed. That's not how your character is supposed to operate. You can do that, but you're screwing over the rest of your party for one thing, and so just that. And B, it's like it's not gonna be fun for you or anybody else because you're not gonna hit anything. You're not gonna do anything. You're just gonna be wasting everyone's time. So there is that. Even though my characters end up wasting everybody's time, but that's just because I can't roll for a damn. So, that's my 2 cents. What do you think about that?
I think with our Fallout table that any of the red flags that we've had, they've been able to kind of like filter themselves out. It's been able to flush out kind of easily.
Yeah.
And I was real surprised though when Kristen, kind of pushed us all together, was that pulled all of us together because she was able to throw together a table that functions greatly from people who've never met and like have like not zero in common, but I mean we all have Kristen in common. And we all know Fallout, so that except for Sean, he doesn't know anything about Fallout.
No, you don't know anything. Yeah.
But he does really, really well.
He's a good improviser.
Yeah, and his wife during our last session.
Oh yeah,
she didn't know anything about Fallout. She was good. She had it wasn't a corkscrew. What was it? It was something she had. It was comically large, but it was not a corkscrew. It was something similar to a corkscrew.
I can't remember.
Haha.
Oh yeah, yes. The noteworthy note taker.
Let's see, what did she have? She played Winnie.
Oh yeah, that's right, Winnie.
And comically large potato peeler.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
what it
right.
is.
It was a potato killer. Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
And this is why you take notes.
Yeah, yep,
Because
that's
we
yep,
knew what it was. We
exactly.
knew it was something.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember. I mean, I'm on so many different medications that I can't remember crap. I'm just my brain is kaput. Um, but yeah, like I mean, like we have different political views. We come from
It,
very different
in
backgrounds.
your defense, that session was from February 21st.
Yeah, it's been a
So,
while. Yeah, I mean, and I can't fault Chris or anybody for it because like
yeah,
everybody's been going through some shit these
yeah.
past
So,
couple weeks. Like it's been rough these past few months for everybody.
and I
So
think that that would be a red flag with one of the, with the table mate would be, if they were not being considerate of other people at the table of having shit together.
yeah,
Like, oh well, we don't play. Well, I don't want to play with you guys anymore because we never fucking play. Well, shit. You
yeah,
know what? When you have like several people together, you have several lives.
yeah,
Shit's gonna happen, and not everybody has shit happen at the same time.
yeah.
So
And like I don't like with my table, like it's like I understand that you're adults and you have adult shit to do. You know what I mean? Like I mean, be considerate. Like if you know a week ahead of time that you're not going to show up to the session, tell me as quickly as you can. But if there's an emergency, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like as long as you just let us know that you're not going to be there, because if we're waiting for you, we don't hear anything back. That sucks.
yeah,
But it's like, yeah, it's like we're all adults. Like we just have a lot of crap in our lives. You know what I mean? It's just it sucks. Like it sucks being an adult because stuff comes up that you have to deal with all the time.
yeah,
Most of our group has kids. Kids are just like the worst when it comes to last minute crap. You know what I mean? It's just
yeah,
you have to accept it. If you're just like if you feel what's it, entitled to people's time, you're screwing it up. Like you're not entitled to anybody's time.
yeah,
Like it's a privilege to play a game with other people.
yeah. So we all carve out time for each other, and if we can make the game, great. If we can't,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what. Yeah,
We've got the notes, and we'll just pick it up from where we left off. Not a
yeah,
problem. And I'd rather have everybody be there and actually like physically or mentally be
yeah,
there as much as we
yeah,
can.
yeah,
And because I don't want to play the game just to play the game. I want to play the game to have fun. I hang out with you guys.
yeah, yeah,
And I know we had a session where we just when we
yeah.
got
We
together,
bullshit.
we
Yeah,
just hung out.
bullshit. Yeah, yeah,
And that was great.
yeah,
We didn't do shit, and it was fine because
yeah.
gaming makes family.
Yeah,
And
we were
we
just
all knew that we all knew that we needed the time to hang out together. We
yeah,
knew, okay, you know what? It's stress free. We don't have to worry about the game tonight. We can chat about it if we want to or whatever, but just shoot the shit because gaming can be therapeutic,
yeah.
and just
It is.
being with your fellow gamers can be therapeutic.
I
Unless you're at a
agree.
con and there's no deodorant, then there's no
Yeah.
therapy for that.
Well, there's always no deodorant at a con. And
There's a
like,
red flag right there. Red flag of no deodorant.
I remember like they were fucking with Happy Jacks like that. There was like a strategic con that they had that the air conditioning broke, so there was no air conditioning at the con. So already no deodorant, but then you add swamp ass onto it, and it's just like just bad.
Oh,
Like just bad. Like you gotta have AC at a con. You can't have con crud with yeah. So there's that. What else? Yeah, I mean, like, sorry, I'm like losing my thoughts as I'm saying. So sorry, you can go. I've completely lost my train of thought.
well, that's okay. Yeah, with the red flags of you said of making it's everybody has time. You're
Yeah,
putting into it. Everybody is doing their efforts for it. So for
yeah,
somebody to be just up in arms over
yeah,
something that's like, dude,
yeah.
take a chill pill, get over it.
And that's what it was. Criers, people who at
Oh,
the table, people who want to be number one priority. I've been in groups with that player. That is the most annoying thing on the fucking planet. Like that, because like you are not any more important than anyone else. Like we're all in this together. And so when you're just crying the entire time because the story isn't going the way you want it to go, it's like, yeah, because you have 3, 4 other people who are trying to make a story with you, not for you. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that is a big red flag. And usually, sometimes if you know the person, you can like keep them out of it. But so if you don't know the person and you start a game and they haven't, then you got to figure out a way to get them out because they're just going to cry the entire time because they don't understand what's happening.
And they are very similar to the people who I think do not the fake rolls, but they fudge their rolls.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I need a nat 20 for this. Oh, look, I got a nat 20 and snatch the dice before somebody else can see it. Or, they're, for in-person games. And then for, virtual games, it's like, oh, yeah, I definitely rolled that to pass it.
Yeah. I'm the exact opposite. Like, I don't care if I roll poorly. I prefer to roll poorly, and it's like if you need, like, I think Mike Evans, he put it best. Like, if you need to lie about your rolls, I'm here for you. You know what I mean? Like I'm here to get you through this journey because obviously you need help and you need a support system. If you feel so insecure that you have to lie about dice rolls in an RPG that it isn't real, like nothing about it is real. Like, it doesn't matter. So it's like, if you need that win, okay, but it's just like, why? Like, why? Like, it doesn't matter. The whole point is that it's fate. Like, that's the whole idea of it, is that, like, you're finding out the fate of the character. But, that's just me,
And if all else fails, your character dies and you start a new one.
Yeah, it's fine.
Or your character dies and your table decides hey, let's do a mass resurrection spell. Let's figure this shit out.
Yeah, we resurrected characters at my AD&D table, and like, you know what? I almost died to a rat roach in our first session. You know what I mean? Like, and Fallout, it's like, it's fine. Like,
you can't shoot for shit.
Yeah. Like, it's fine. Like, I don't. I mean, like, I'm far on the,
Yep, and we'll see. You've lost a finger. You've lost an arm.
Yeah.
And then you lost your entire body.
Yeah, I've been a couple times. It's fine. Like, it's just let the roll do that. Makes for a good story. And
it does.
Rules lawyers also kind of. It depends. Like, I don't mind if somebody's like clarifying a rule for me as a GM. I don't actually mind that. It's just when they like. It's like the people who exploit the rules to get like these insane characters, or like they want to do a very, very specific thing. Generally, I like really cool ideas, like when they exploit the rules in a cool way, and it's not to screw over the table or to be more powerful than the table, I should say. Because, like, for example, one of my players, he came up with a really cool idea, and I'm just like still racking my brain whether I should allow it or not. Because he's like, he could turn it into a gaseous form, right? So he wanted to like take a knife, become a gas, put the knife inside of the person because they can't stab him because he's a gaseous form, and then come out of the gaseous form and rematerialize with the knife already in their body, like in their heart, and so they just immediately die. It's like, that's actually kind of a great idea.
That's creative. I'd let it go.
Yeah, it's overpowered, but like, I know he wouldn't exploit it to the point where he would always do it. So it's like, I trust him, but at the same time, it's just sort of like, it's almost too much. Like, because then it's just like, all right, like you could just do that to everybody, and
like, all right, you know what, you can do that, but let's put a DC of 20 on it. Let's see what the dice says.
No, like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm racking my brain on how to do it. It's hard. I don't know.
I think if it's something that a one thing of, you know what, you want to try this, sure, go ahead. It's got super high difficulty, so if you do it, you do it. Or if it's just a one-time thing, cool.
Yeah,
or if you
yeah.
do this, but then there's going to be some kind of repercussion for your character at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, like, and also, like, one thing I do is, like, if you whatever you do to a character, um, that the game can do it to you. So
Hmm.
like if you like anything that you want to do to NPCs, they can also do that to you.
That is
So
the point.
yeah,
That's
so
their
like
point.
that's like that kind of evens it out, but you know that's kind of where I'm at on that. But I mean, those are like my big red flags. I mean, like obviously sexism and racism are top of the game, but also just being considerate, and realizing that you're an equal to everyone else at the table and not the star of the show, and just yeah. I mean, the criers are the worst. Like we had a crier and he was just terrible. Oh my god, it was awful. Like
Do you
every single
consider
session.
do you consider newbies to be red flags?
No, I
No?
am okay with newbies. It depends on the game. So, would I let a brand new player play RuneQuest? Hell no. Hell no. It's way too complicated. Would I let a brand new player play Fallout 2D20? I'd probably say no because we had to redo a lot of the rules because it's like so overly complicated.
But you
Um,
guys made it as a group.
yeah, yeah,
We've made it to where newbies like myself can understand it enough.
yeah,
Enough to have fun
yeah,
because that's what we wanted to do was to have fun. So we
yeah.
do.
I mean, like, I think new GMs are kind of a red flag. It depends, because that's a lot of responsibility, and people are putting a lot of trust in you, and you know,
I
you
guess
need to
it's also
respect that.
of if you're a new GM of why are you
Yeah,
a GM or why are you
yeah,
wanting to be a GM?
yeah. Because I have had the Power Fantasy GMs, and they suck the worst. They are the worst people to play with. They are horrible, and they're also usually the racist and sexist GMs as well. So there is that. Like I mean, like it almost always goes hands in hand. Like if they're doing it to feel like they're the boss of the table, they're almost always um, have other problems too. Like the guy that we played with who had a power trip, he was very disgusting at the table, especially towards women. Um, yeah, so yeah. And he also lied and said that he was experienced, but he had only co-GM'd one game before GMing that campaign. He didn't tell us about that because, like, he was asking beforehand, like, should he was asking, like, if I should GM or he should GM. I was like, well, I've never ran 5th edition, so you should run it because I've never ran 5th edition. And so he's like, okay. But it's like he had never ran a game by himself when he didn't tell us that. He said, like, oh, yeah, I'm a 5th edition GM. So I was like, okay, well, then you run it. But it turns out that he had no idea what he was doing and had no grasp on the rules and all that. So there's that. But newbies themselves, I have no problem with newbies. Sometimes they don't work for your group though, and then that's just a thing. You don't know what you're getting into with them. That's the issue.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes
So
sense.
and usually they let themselves out if it's not the vibe for them. So you know,
The good ones will be like,
yeah,
no, not my thing, and instead of trying to stay and force it to be their thing.
yeah. And like I have a player, you know, the kid that plays with us who plays the gunner boy. He's fairly new to gaming and he's fun. He's
I know he's had his rough spots and stuff, but
he's
you
he's
know,
learning. He's learning how the game works. Like once again, like he was comparing it to Skyrim, and it's like this is nothing like Skyrim. Like other than like the medieval fantasy part, but otherwise it's nothing like Skyrim. So like I don't know. That's yeah. Like he just didn't understand because we didn't explain it to him. Like that's on us. That's on me. That's how I see it. It's on me. But
the best way I can ever think to explain tabletop RPGs is that they're like a choose your own adventure book.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
that's the best way I can think to explain it, because yeah, you have, if you want to do this, turn to this page. You want to do this, turn to
yeah,
this page. And
yeah,
so the story is there, and it's just about the choices that you make.
yeah. And you're doing it with other people, and instead of turning to a page, you have dice that would have turned
Tell
into
you
weapons.
which
Yeah,
one to do.
yeah. So I mean, that's where I'm at on that. Do you think we should switch to the next topic, or do you have
Yeah.
more thoughts? Okay.
No, I'm good with that one.
So our next topic is going to be drinking at the table. Drinking at the table. I don't allow alcohol at my table. Obviously, I have a 16-year-old, so there's no way I would have drinking at my table. Um, I have been in horrible situations with alcohol at the table. We had a table flip at one point. Yeah, he destroyed the
Wow.
entire basement because he got shit faced, and
Wow.
yeah, so yeah, yeah. So drinking, it depends on the players. Like Noah obviously drinks at our table, but Noah controls himself. So like
Yeah.
I don't
And
care.
it's not an in-person table either.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like, and he controls himself, so it's like that's fine. Like if it's all adults and they're being responsible, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like it's fine. Like he just drinks his Miller Lite and does what he wants to do, and even when he's not drinking, he does whatever the dumbest thing possible is. So it's like it doesn't matter. Like it's fine.
Drunk Noah, sober Noah,
Yeah,
not much
it's the
difference.
same. Yeah, like he's breaking shit no matter what. So, but in person, I'm really against drinking. I don't
I
want
think
to know that you're an alcoholic.
I think it's if it's a group of people that you've known for a while, and that if it's people that you know, then I would say just be hesitant with it. But at the same time, if people you don't know, then I would say absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
But with an online game of, sure, you want to drink in your own home at your computer, go ahead.
Yeah, because I mean, if they act too rambunctious, you just kick. It's like
Yep.
bye. Like okay,
Yep.
you can't handle your alcohol.
Yep.
Goodbye.
I can mute you, and we can watch you be stupid.
Yeah.
Or I can just boot you, and that way you won't do anything that
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, but like when it's at the table, or the table gets flipped, so you don't even have a table. It's just a different feeling. It's like because like you immediately become like a social worker because you're like, you need to get help. This is bad. Look at what you're doing.
And I would think that would just give them a lifetime ban from being on anybody's table that's on that table.
Yeah.
That'd be like, no, you can't come to my table.
He did get banned, but we were just like, no drinking. Like we're not drinking at the table anymore. Even though I think he quit that campaign, but the next campaign I think he did do it. He did drink. It wasn't as bad, but he was still getting drunk and like taking over the table because he was already a power gamer and he was like undermining the plan of the group. So after that, it was just like no drinking. Actually, no, he didn't drink at that campaign because it was at my buddy's house, and he was just like, no alcohol. So, yeah, I am like, I used to drink when we would play. Like we would all drink together, and it was fine. But once like it's just like you don't need to do it, and I don't think it adds anything to it. And like once again, like I don't need to find out that you're an alcoholic in person, because you're losing your shit and breaking stuff, and luckily it was his table, so at least there was that. You know what I mean? Like he didn't break any of my stuff; he just broke all of his stuff, including his really nice globe bar thing. Yeah, really nice.
Oh, that opens up with the.
He
Oh,
broke it. He broke a bunch of stuff.
Damn.
He destroyed his. Yeah, and it's like his wife at the time. I was like, she's like one of my best friends, and I was like, if you get this drunk again and you hit her, I'm gonna kill you. And my other buddy was like, yeah, we're gonna come after you. Luckily, he never did that, but turns out, well, turns out he did other terrible stuff to her prior to that, and so like worse stuff than that. So I mean, yeah. So luckily they're divorced now. So like
Good
that
for her.
kind of that saved the table. I think was the divorce. Weirdly enough, like it sucks to say that, but it's like
Oh, divorces
like,
can be great things.
yeah, yeah. I mean, divorces usually are a great thing, especially when people are abusive. And so like, because my buddy, I won't say his name, but he was trying to like, he was talking to me like, I don't want this guy at my table anymore. He gets drunk. Even and when he's not drunk, he's still extremely disrespectful to her, like to his wife. And it's like, I don't want to handle it. He's disrespectful when everybody at the table. Um, and it's just like,
Just
yeah,
needed the reason.
yeah, like luckily that was like the day after she told me that she was leaving him, and so I was like, well, they're getting a divorce, and he was like, oh, well, that's fine. Because nobody else knew about it, but it's
Problem
like,
solved.
yeah, they're getting a divorce. Yeah, yeah, it was weird, but that's what happened, and that's fine. But like, if you can't handle your alcohol, don't drink at the table, and also just don't drink in general. Like, if you feel that you need to do that, then you have a problem. But I just I don't think in person drinking at the table is a good thing unless everybody is responsible. And even then, I don't think it adds to it. I don't think it adds
No.
anything to it. So, but I have ranted long enough. What do you think?
Oh, I completely agree with you. If they can handle it, fine. But if it's in mixed company, I definitely just if it's not something that you'd be doing anyways, then
Yeah.
I don't know. Just I guess it depends. Like I haven't honestly, as an adult now, there's so many occasions you go to that just aren't centered on drinking. So you're just like,
Yeah.
don't even think about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, my gosh, my husband and I went to dinner. We had our date last month, and when we got ordered drinks, you're like, you didn't want alcohol? I'm like, no, not tonight, surprisingly.
Huh.
And that's about the time I ever drink, is I'll get a drink when I go out to dinner. And he was just surprised on that. I was like,
yeah. I haven't drank in ages. I can drink I can have like a drink every once in a while with my meds, but like I don't have a taste for it anymore. The only thing I like is extremely expensive scotch, and it's like it doesn't go well with cigars, so I chose cigars because I only like Isla scotches that are old, so they're smoky anyway. So like it doesn't work well with cigars, so it's like I have to choose one or the other. I'm choosing cigars, so I don't drink anything. Like I probably couldn't drink like an IPA now and enjoy it because I haven't had one in like 5 years. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I don't think I would enjoy beer at this point. I've completely lost my taste.
I don't see how anybody drinks beer.
I used to love it. I used to love it. It used to be good. I mean, it's just now I can't. I just can't do it. I tried bourbon. It's just like I don't like bourbon anymore. It's like
Burns.
yeah, and it's like even the really nice stuff is just sort of like meh to me. So it's not as good as scotch. It's not. Yeah. So I don't know. For me, drinking is just not. It's just not a thing I want to do anymore. And wine's too sweet. I don't like mixed drinks. I did get a virgin mojito yesterday when I went to a cigar bar.
Nice.
That was tasty. Yeah, you just use Sprite. It wasn't like anything fancy, but it was it was fine. It was, but every once in a while I'll get like a virgin drink. Uh, but at the table, yeah, I mean I usually just drink water because caffeine makes me sleepy, so I just have to drink water. So it's like you just pee a bunch, but that's fine. Just wait till your turn in combat's over, and by the time you get back, it's your turn again. So yeah, that's how I feel. I don't know. I mean, and also getting high at the table is sort of kind of a faux pas for me. Like I don't like being around that stuff. I don't care if people do it.
I think if you were to do that, I think it'd be like a everybody gets high at the table kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah. It's either everybody or nobody. And like
Yeah.
that was one issue like I had with the crier is that he would also like be grinding up his weed around people that he didn't know. So it's like you don't know who these people are, and you're grinding up weed around them. If
Yeah,
you're a
that's
cop, you're screwed because this is before it was legal in Ohio. It's like what are you doing? Like it's just like, and also people don't want to deal with that. Like I just don't want to smell it. You know, what I mean? I don't like the
yeah.
smell of it, and I don't want to put anybody in an awkward position. And it's like just be like, and also playing with super high people just isn't fun because they're just not there. You know what I mean? They're high. They're out.
That's one of those, if you want to do that, like do it as an experiment of,
Yeah,
everybody tries this, let's do a little one shot, see how far we can actually get on this.
yeah,
And have one person be sober enough to take notes, maybe?
yeah. You probably don't want to take notes because you read it the
That's
day
true.
after and be like, this is fucking stupid. It's like there isn't a bonus to it. So that's where I'm at on that. If you have any more thoughts, you can elaborate. If not, we can shut this thing down. Unfortunately, I guess Maddie's still playing D&D. She's in her 3.5 campaign, so we'll have to get her next time. I'll let her know now that we're stopping this stream soon. So if you want to give us an outro.
All right, Internet. This has been 2 of the Degenerates of Dice for our Monday night RPG talk show. Monday night TTRPG talk show. This has been Jen, and that's been Joe.
Hey, see, it works better. It works better. Stream
Yeah, so
better.
I can see where I'm looking better. Okay.
Yeah.
Because me, if I point here, this you're on that side of my screen.
Oh, am I?
So, well, when I look at it, on my screen, it's you are on the left, but it's not showing me to the left.
Oh. Okay.
So when I go left, me goes right.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So we've been the Degenerates of Dice. This has been the Monday night tabletop RPG talk show. We will see you guys and gals and non-binaries. If my God, my husband picked on me for I said beast of burden yesterday, and he picked on me for not enunciating clearly. So sorry. We will be back next Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Texas time. We will see you guys next week. Hit us up in the comments with any questions, concerns, comments, answers to anything that we've asked for you guys.
Yep.
And we will see you then.
Yep. Sounds good. See ya. Bye.